Magandang araw sa iyo, Kalabawan. Maligayang pakikilahok sa ating webinar series na pinamagatang Gabay sa Wastong Pangangalaga ng Kalabaw. Sa ngalan ng bumubuo ng Department of Agriculture, Philippine Carabao Center, nais naming pasalamatan ang lahat na nakikibahagi sa ating webinar o online seminar. Bahagi po ito ng proyektong Cara-Aralan ng DAPCC. Ang paksa na ating tatalakayin ay tungkol sa Hygienic Milk Handling Practices. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, Lizzie Everett Padre, na magsisilbing webinar host. Ating pasalamatan ang pamunuan ng DAPCC sa pangunguna ni Dr. Arnel N. Dalbarrio, Executive Director, at Dr. Caro B. Salces, Deputy Executive Director, at sa lahat ng bumubuo ng Knowledge Management Division upang maisagawa ang webinar na ito para sa patuloy pa rin na pagbabahagi ng kaalaman sa ating mga magkakalabaw at maggagatas. Magsimula na po tayo sa ating webinar. I-welcome po natin si Ms. Mina Abella, Supervising Science Research Specialist ng DAPCC.
Good morning everyone. Ang paksa po na aking tatalakayin ngayon ay Hygienic Milk Handling Practices. Sa negosyo po ng pagkakalabaw, particularly ng paggagatasan, karaniwan po na ang focus ng mga magsasaka o ng dairy farm ay mapataas ang produksyon ng gatas. Dahil ibig sabihin nito, tataas ang kanilang kita sa gatas. Subalit, importante rin na goal din nila ay mapataas ang kalidad ng gatas. Sapagkat kung hindi maganda ang kalidad ng gatas, yung kita na kanilang inaasam-asam ay posibleng mabawasan or worse, baka ito ay mawala. Ang good quality milk ay ating ma-achieve through hygienic milk handling practices. Noong 2013 po ay mayroong inapprove ng batas. Ito ay ang RA 10611, ang Food Safety Act. At kasama po dito ang gatas na dapat ay binabantayan para maprotektahan ang ating consumers sa unsafe and adulterated locally produced milk. Sa regulatory agency po nito ay ang National Dairy Authority na nag-develop po ng dairy safety regulations and standards para maging gabay ng mga magsasaka sa kanilang paggatasan. Ang kalidad po ng gatas ay mayroon tatlong klase. Ito ay ang sensory quality, which includes color, odor, and taste. Meron din siyang compositional quality, which includes the fat, the protein, lactose, and total solids. Pwede rin siyang hygienic quality na nagre-refer naman sa microbial quality or ang bilang ng mikrobyo sa gatas. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, ang good quality milk ay mayroong normal na komposisyon, nagtataglay ng natural milk flavor, mayroong mababang bilang ng mikrobyo at safe for human consumption. Pag sinabi nating normal composition, ito ay ang mga taglay niyang taba, protina, carbohydrates at total solids na pwedeng inumin ng tao. Now, yung isang klase ng gatas na tawag ay colostrum, hindi po normal ang kanyang komposisyon dahil ito ay may mataas na percentage ng protina dahil sa taglay niya na immunoglobulins. Colostrum is not bad milk. It is good milk for the young calves, but it is not good for processing. At ang good quality milk din po ay nagtataglay ng natural milk flavor. So yung natural milk flavor, ito yung manamis-namis, malinamnam dahil sa taglay nitong taba. At dapat din ay mababa ang kanyang bilang ng mikrobyo. Ang nagiging sanhi po ng maagang pagkasira ng gatas ay ang mikrobyo. So through hygienic milk handling practices, maiiwasan po natin ang pagdami ng mikrobyo. At dapat ay ligtas kung sino man ang iinom ng gatas, and that is good quality milk. Another description ng good quality milk ay free from disease-producing microorganisms. Ito ay ang mga mikrobyo na nagiging sanhi ng pagkakasakit kung sino man ang iinom nito. And these are yung tawag ay pathogenic microorganisms. Ang good quality milk din ay dapat walang presence ng antibiotic residues or any chemical residues. Saan manggagaling ang antibiotics? So usually, pag ang mga animals ay nagkakasakit, sila ay binibigyan ng antibiotics ng mga veterinarians. At ang bawat antibiotic ay may kanya-kanyang withdrawal period. So habang nandun pa rin sa withdrawal period, dapat ang gatas ay hindi ipoproseso o hindi ibebenta. Ang withdrawal period ay depende sa antibiotic. Merong maiksi lang, 1 to 2 days. Meron namang mahaba, mga 7 to 10 days. Or meron ng mas mahaba pa, weeks ang tagal. So habang nasa withdrawal period, meron pa ring presence ng antibiotic residues. Now, ano naman ang chemical residues na maaaring nandun sa gatas? Kung tayo ay gumagamit ng chemical disinfectants like chlorine or quaternary ammonium compounds, ito ay pwedeng maging chemical contaminants. Another chemical contaminant would be iodine disinfectant na ginagamit sa pagdidisinfect ng mga teats ng animals before and after milking. So good quality milk should not have antibiotic or any chemical residues. And good quality milk must have low microbial count and somatic cell count. So nabanggit ko kanina, dapat mababa lang yung bilang ng mikrobyo, hindi naman necessarily zero but then compliant with kung ano yung isinasaad ng standards ng National Dairy Authority at ng Food and Drug Authority. Another description na masabi for good quality milk ay dapat walang adulteration. Now usually, ang tubig ay nagiging adulterant sa gatas. So pag may halong tubig ang gatas, hindi na siya good quality milk, and usually madali po masira pag adulterated ang milk. Now, another description is that milk should have a high commercial value. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Kung ang gatas ay mataas ang kalidad, mas mataas ang kanyang presyo. Dito po sa Philippine Carabao Center sa Nueva Ecija, ang gatas po ay binabayaran base sa kalidad o yung tawag namin na quality-based milk payment scheme. So, hindi lang base dun sa timbang ng gatas, kung hindi, base rin po sa kalidad. Now, good quality milk can be transported over long distances. So, kung maganda ang kalidad ng gatas, pwede natin siyang i-travel kahit malayong lugar, basta rin po meron itong palamig, no? Habang tinatransport. And good quality milk also is a high quality based product for processing. This is one of the requirements for processing. Dapat high quality raw milk ang gagamitin to produce good quality dairy product. Now we go to the milk supply chain. Now, kung makita natin dito sa supply chain, this is from production, collection and transport, and it goes to the processing, marketing, and distribution up until makarating sa consumers. Now, good quality milk should be at every stage of this milk supply chain. And good quality milk can be achieved through hygienic milk handling practices. So quality is a must at every stage of the supply chain, and each stage of the supply chain, the quality must be maintained. And in this supply chain, hygienic milk handling practices must start at the farm where the milk is produced. Hygienic milk handling practices at the farm. This is the first stage of the supply chain. Now, the areas of concern na dapat itinitignan natin sa farm ay animals, milking area, milking utensils, the milkers, milking procedure, and milk storage or cooling of milk. So, animals, ito yung source ng ating gatas. Importante na malinis ang kalabaw at healthy habang ito ay ginagatasan. So, look at this picture, no? Kung ito ang gagatasan natin, this could be a contaminant of milk. So, the exterior of the udder, ito marumi. So, this can be a source of contamination. And also, wet pits can be a source of contamination. Now, avoid contact with infected animals like mastitis infected animals, and cows with mastitis should be milk glassed para non hindi po mahahawa yung mga susunod na gagatasan. Now, milking area. Ito ay kung saan ginaganap yung paggagatas. Milking area must be cleaned and disinfected before and after milking. Recommended na concrete ang kanyang flooring with good drainage. And preferably screened para maiwasan yung mga maliliit na insekto na po pwedeng mapunta dun sa gatas habang gumagatas. And maganda rin na merong sufficient light and ventilation. Pag may sufficient light, makikita natin agad kung may problema yung gatas, kung ang gatas ba ay parang hindi talaga kulay puti or kung ang gatas ba ay may parang pamuo. So, one way na rin ng pag-check yun, no? Ng kalidad ng gatas. And importante na may sufficient supply of potable water dahil ginagamit natin ito sa paglilinis ng milking area, sa pagpapaligo ng kalabaw, sa paglilinis ng ating mga kagamitan sa paggagatas like milk cans, milk pails, katsa, and other things. Now, milking utensils and milking machine. Ito mga milking utensils, ito yung may direct na contact ang gatas. So, dito natin nilalagay yung gatas, yung milk pails and milk cans. So, kailangan malinis at na-disinfect ang mga milk utensils. So, nire-recommenda na gamitin natin ay stainless steel milk containers, yung seamless. Pag sinabing seamless, ito yung walang dugtungan, dire-diretso siya sa loob. Plastic containers like this one are not recommended. Unang-una, mahirap siyang linisin at mahirap matagal matanggal ang amoy. So this is not recommended and unhygienically. Now, sa milking machine naman, dapat well-functional. So ibig sabihin, sa milking machine, meron siya yung tinatawag na dapat proper vacuum level. So pag hindi tama yung vacuum level ng milking machine, o pwede na masasaktan yung kalabaw, at pag nasaktan yung kalabaw, pwede maging cause ng mastitis. And dapat yung milking machine din ay clean and sanitized. Usually, pag milking machine, meron siyang mga 5 or 7 steps na sinusunod para talaga malinis ito at masanitize. Now, hindi dapat nasa-shortcut yung steps na to dahil oras na may mawalang isang step or 2, pwede ito maging cause ng contamination at ang gatas na mapoproduce dito dadaan sa milking machine ay po pwedeng hindi na maganda ang kalidad. Now, between hand milking and machine milking, hindi naman ibig sabihin na pagka machine milking ay mas maganda ang kalidad ng gatas. Pwede rin naman na maganda ang kalidad ng gatas kahit hand milking, basta proper milking procedure, hygienic, at milk handling practices. So again, importante na nandyan yung potable water dahil gamitin natin ito sa paglilinis at sanitize. use stainless steel milk pails and milk containers katulad po nito, seamless ito, and easier to clean and disinfect. Now, this is a bit more expensive, but then the useful life is long. Compare with this one, these are not advisable, no? These are milk pails na plastic materials. Ito naman yung mga mineral water containers. Ito, mga biscuit containers. So these are not advisable because they are difficult to clean. Especially this one, no? Ang liit ng bibig na to, so ang hirap talaga lilinisin to, yung loob. So not advisable to use this. Now, milkers. Milkers should have personal hygiene. So ano ibig sabihin ng hygiene? Dapat pag maglinis, pag magagatas naman siya, yung kanyang kasuot malinis. Yung kanyang kamay bago hahawak sa suso ng kalabaw ay nasabunan at na-disinfect. Dapat din ang milkers ay healthy at walang nakakahawang sakit. Kung ang milker ay may ubo o may sipon o may lagnat, dapat magpahalili na lang siya sa iba. Ngayon, kung wala naman talagang pwedeng humalili sa kanya sa paggagatas, magsuot na lang siya ng face mask. Okay? Now, importante din na ang milkers ay well-trained. Now, pag sinabing well-trained, dapat alam niya ang kanyang ginagawa. So, hindi basta naka-attend lang ng training ay well-trained na. Dapat i-adapt niya kung ano ay yung natutunan niya sa training. Especially on hygiene and sanitation. Sa hygiene and sanitation, may dahilan kung bakit ginagawa. May dahilan kung bakit kailangan i-disinfect ang mga milking utensils, i-disinfect ang milk pails, i-disinfect ang kamay, kailangan malinis ang kasuotan. Meron pong dahilan mo. Proper milking procedure, may mga different steps sa milking procedure at bawat step po na yan ay merong dahilan kung bakit ganun ang ginagawa. And this milker should be well trained on this. So these are the steps in the milking procedure. So cleaning the animals, yung pagpapaligo, cleaning and sanitizing the udders and the teats, yung suso at yung utong ng kalabaw. For milking, ito yung pagpapalabas ng unang gatas sa utong. Now usually yung mga unang gatas na lumalabas, ito po ay maraming bilang ng mikrobyo kaya hindi siya sinasama dun sa karamihan sa gatas na nakukuha. And during the foremilking, ito din yung kung saan nakikita na natin kung may problema ba sa gatas, kung yung gatas ba ay baka hindi siya talagang kulay puti, baka manilaw-nilaw na puti yung gatas ng kalabaw, so something may be wrong do sa animals. Or baka naman yung gatas ay merong mamuo-muo, so that isa po yun na senyales na may problema sa kalabaw or sa baka. Now, pre-dipping the teats using iodine solution, ito po importante, no? Dahil ito yung pagdi-disinfect dun sa teats bago gatasan. But then after the pre-dipping, kailangan din natutuyuin din yung mga teats dahil pag hindi po natuyo ito at meron pa siyang iodine solution sa teats, pwedeng makontaminate yung gatas. So we dry and clean teats and usually 1 towel per cow. After po paggagatas, meron pa yung tinatawag na post-dipping using also iodine solution, but this time the iodine solution is more concentrated. Now this is very important. Now usually after milking, nakabukas pa yung teats. So pag nakabukas yung teats, pwede siyang pasukan ng mikrobyo. Ang mikrobyo hindi kailangan ng maraming gatas, no? So even a drop or 2 of milk ay enough na para sa mikrobyo to grow and multiply. So post-dipping is very important because this is also one of the procedures for mastitis control. So these are just the steps for proper milking hygiene. Again, this is bathing of the animals, taking more attention to the others and the teats, no? And then let the animal dry for some time, no? Para matiktik yung tubig. And then we wipe dry the teats, no? And then this is for milking, and then this is the actual milking. And ito naman yung post-milking disinfection using iodine solution. So, importante po ito for mastitis control, the pre-milking teat disinfection and the post-milking teat disinfection. This is one of the very important handling practices in milk. The milk storage, the cooling of milk. Kahit gaano kaganda yung ginawa natin na milking practices, yung kahit gaano kaganda yung ginawa natin na pagde-disinfect ng mga milking utensils, milking machine, kahit healthy yung animals, kahit napaliguan natin siya, na-disinfect ang mga teats, kahit healthy yung magagatas, pag wala pong pagpapalamig sa gatas, the quality of milk will be reduced kung walang pagpapalamig. And cooling of milk should be immediately after milking. Now always remember that bacteria grows fast at room temperature or ambient temperature. Ang dahilan ng pagkasira ng gatas ay ang mikrobyo. At nasa gatas ang kailangan ng mikrobyo for them to grow and multiply. So ano ba yung nasa gatas? Sustansya ng gatas. Mataas ang kanyang fats, ang protina, ang carbohydrates. Kung maganda ang gatas sa atin na mga tao, ganon din sa mikrobyo. Kailangan nila ito sa kanilang paglaki. Ano pa ang kailangan ng gatas, ng mikrobyo? Kailangan din nila ng tamang temperatura. Ang ambient temperature ay maganda para sa pag-grow ng bacteria, especially the mesophilic bacteria. So, madali silang mag-multiply, and usually ang pagdami nila yung tinatawag na logarithmically. Nadodoble yung bilang ng mikrobyo. Usually, pag nandyan lahat yung kanilang kailangan sa kanilang pag-grow, every 20-30 minutes, nadodoble ang kanilang bilang. Now, cooling reduces bacterial growth. So, kaya inilalagay agad ang gatas para kung ano man yung mikrobyo na nandun na, ay hindi na dumami pa, or kung dumami man ay matagal. However, kung marami na ang bilang ng mikrobyo dito, hindi na kayang alisin ng cooling ang mga mikrobyo na to. Kung wala namang cooling tank or freezer or chiller, meron pong isang alternative method of milk storage. Ito ay ang pagpapalamig ng gatas using salt ice mixture in an insulated box. So ito po yun, no? Ito yung milk cans na may lamang gatas. And usually nilalagyan ng alternate layer of salt and ice dito, no? And then sa amin pong pag-aaral, napag-alaman namin na yung gatas po na pinalamig using salt ice mixture ay name-maintain niya yung temperature na 10 degrees Celsius for 14 to 16 hours. So maganda po ito dun sa mga magsasaka na gustong mag twice a day milking, gustong maggatas sa hapon, pero wala naman siyang freezer storage, wala siyang chiller, So, pwede niya itong gamitin. This is easy to follow at hindi nangangailangan ng electricity. Kung makikita po ninyo dito sa graph na to, no? Within 2 hours na nandun yung milk cans na may lamang gatas, bumaba na yung temperature ng milk to less than or 10 degrees C at na-maintain niya ito up until 14 to 16 hours. So ito yung parang naggatas ka ng hapon ng alas 5, kinabukasan mga alas 6, alas 7, okay pa yung temperature ng milk, maganda pa yung quality. So yan, pwede po itong gagamitin na alternative method of milk cooling. Now, another precautionary measures during the milk storage. Do not mix colostrum milk with normal milk. Well, as I have said, colostrum milk is not bad but good for the young, but it is not good for processing. Ang milk po nasa may kalabaw or baka na may antibiotic residues should not be mixed with normal milk. And also, milk from mastitis-infected animals should not be mixed with normal milk. Okay, para hindi ma-reject yung gatas. Now we go to the second stage of the supply chain. Hygienic milk handling practices during collection and transport. Now these are 2 transport vehicles being used, no? Now, this is a refrigerated van. Refrigerated van. This is a small truck with ice box. Now, dito sa ice box na to, meron siyang ice bath o yelo na may tubig at yung mga milk cans ay nandito, nakalubog. Dito naman, nandun dun sa loob ng refrigerated van ang mga milk cans. Now, between these 2, I would prefer the milk to be transported using this one. Bakit? Because nakadikit po yung malamig na tubig dun sa milk cans, and usually, mas mabilis yung transfer ng lamig at mas mabilis lumamig yung gatas. Unlike this one, which is a refrigerated van, maganda lang ito kung ang ipapasok natin na gatas ay malamig na. Dahil itutuloy na lang ng refrigerated van yung pagpapalamig sa gatas. Pero pag ang pinasok natin na gatas dito ay ang temperatura ay nasa mga 32, 33, or 34, bumaba man siya during transport, bababa siya siguro mga 28, 30 degrees Celsius. And usually these temperatures are still conducive po for the growth of microorganisms. Now, using this transport vehicle, dapat clean and sanitize din ang ating vehicle, and dapat napalamig siya prior to loading, and the temperature must be maintained at all times, including unloading. And dapat always in good running condition because we are transporting milk, and the milk should be transported immediately to the milk collection center or to the milk processing plant. So, dapat walang cases na masisiraan yung sasakyan, no? Kaya dapat always in good running condition. Now, these are other transport vehicles used by farmers. I would not say these are recommended because kung titingnan natin, sabi natin, during the transport of milk, dapat meron ding palamig. But looking at this, wala namang palamig. No? So this is motorcycle, kolong-kolong, tricycle. This one is a bit better, no? Because this is transporting of milk, where milk cans are placed in an ice bath using the insulated box. So kung ang pag-transport ng milk ay walang palamig, like this transport vehicles, the milk must be delivered to the milk collection center or to the milk cooling center immediately. para noon maiwasan natin yung pagdami ng mikrobyo during the transport of milk. Now, milk collectors also should be trained on the proper hygiene. So, dapat yung kasuotan din nila ay malinis at maayos. Dapat din sila ay healthy at walang nakakahawang sakit. Again, as I've mentioned before sa milkers, ang milk collector should also be well-trained on the hygiene and sanitation ng milk transport vehicles and the milk cans that they are transporting. At dapat alam din nila kung ano ba ang dahilan ng pagkasira ng gatas para noon during the transport of milk ay alam nilang ito troubleshoot. Now, this is the inside of the refrigerated pan I showed in the previous slide. So, kung titignan ninyo, para lang siyang isang room na air condition. So, since this is air cooling, yung paglamig ng gatas dito ay hindi ganon kabilis. So, maganda lang to kung ang ipapasok na gatas dito ay malamig na at itutuloy na lang ng refrigerated pan ang pagpapalamig sa gatas. Now, we go to the milk handling practices at the processing plant. Okay. Now, usually at the processing plant, milk is received and tinitimbang to. Now, merong isang kumukuha ng samples of milk for every milk cans at tinetest milk. Now, pagtetest po ng milk, meron silang platform test na ginagawa na ginagamit nilang basihan whether to reject or to accept the milk. Now, at the processing plant, importante din na immediate ang pagpapalamig sa gatas. So, kung okay yung milk at dapat tatanggapin yung gatas, milk should be cooled immediately using this. This is a milk cooling tank, raw milk cooling tank. Kung maramihan yung gatas, we can use the milk cooling tank. Kung wala namang cooling tank, we can use this freezer. Now, kung mapapansin niyo itong freezer na to, meron siyang timba na may lamang malamig na tubig para noon nakadikit agad yung milk cans sa malamig na tubig para mas mabilis lumamig. Remember, ang gusto natin, lumamig agad yung gatas. Now, this is another way of cooling milk immediately. Although these milk containers are not recommended, no? Pero etong freezer na to ay merong lamang tubig. So inilagay dito itong mga milk containers para noon ay mabilis ang paglamig ng milk sa loob ng milk containers. So we need immediate cooling of milk. Now, ito yung mga platform tests na ginagawa sa pwede sa milk collection center or pwede rin sa processing plant. Organoleptic test, sediment test, clot on boiling test, alcohol test, and lactometer test. Sa organoleptic tests, ang tinitingnan dito ay ang odor, color, appearance. Usually, yung milk cans, pag binuksan mo agad yung takip, no? Madali mo ma-perceive yung kanyang amoy ng milk cans. Ang magandang kalidad ng gatas ay sariwa yung amoy. Pag ang amoy ng gatas ay meron ka man na-perceive na slightly sour or parang amoy gata or parang amoy mais, abnormal odor na yon. It could have been na yung milk ay matagal bago na palamigan, yung milk ay hindi enough yung pagpapalamig, or yung milk ay marami ng mikrobyo dahil mabilis dumami ang mikrobyo sa gatas. So, pwedeng yon ang magiging amoy ng milk. And dapat hindi na tinatanggap ang ganong abnormal odor ng milk. Color. Ang gatas ng kalabaw ay kulay puti, perfectly white, and so with goat's milk. Ang gatas ng baka ay yellowish white or manilaw-nilaw na puti. So kung ang gatas ng kalabaw ay naging yellowish white, something might be wrong with the animal. At also, kung ang gatas na natanggap sa milk collection center ay may kakaibang kulay kaysa normal na kulay nito, example, medyo reddish or pinkish color, pwede na ito ay senyales na may presence ng blood sa gatas. Or pwede rin naman na yellowish or greenish. Pwede rin to na senyales na merong pus or nana yung gatas. And it could have been na yung gatas ay nakuha sa mastitis infected animal. Now, appearance. Pagtingin mo pa lang sa gatas, kung meron tong mga floating foreign bodies or physical dirt, ibig lang sabihin nito na yung gatas po ay hindi kinolekta hygienically. Unhygienic milking and unhygienic milk handling during the milking process. Usually po, pag yung mga foreign dirt like yung mga langgam or dahon or insekto, pag sinala mo to, mawawala o matatanggal yung floating dirt. However, may mga dirt like yung soil, putik, na kahit salain mo, hindi siya matatanggal. It will just pass through the strainer. Even very fine mesh strainer, lulusot lang po doon yung dirt. At wala nang magagawa sa level ng processing pag ang contaminant ay soil. So, pag ganun po ang nangyari, always feedback this to the supplier of the milk. Kasi pag walang feedback, they would always think that yung gatas nila ay okay at wala na silang effort na gagawin to improve the quality of their milk. Now, this is the sediment test na pangalawang ginagawa. Now, we use this centrifuge. So, usually, naglalagay ng sample ng milk and then pinapaikot po dito mga 5 minutes centrifuge. At kung merong contaminants ang gatas, makikita yan sa ilalim ng test tube. Now, kung ito makikita ninyo, no, this is the normal milk, walang contaminant, no? Now, this one, ito yung meron siyang brown sediment. So, ito po ay putik. Ito naman, reddish sediment. May dugo yung gatas na natanggap. Na usually, pag may mga sediment na ganito, we reject the milk because hindi siya good quality milk and is good for processing. Now, look at this. Ito po ay gatas na nandun na sa milk container. Now, kung makikita ninyo po ito ay meron siyang brown ring. Etong brown ring na to ay brown sediments doon sa tinanggap na gatas at na proseso. Ito yung sinabi ko kanina na pagka meron soil sediments, kahit salain mo yung gatas, lulusot pa rin siya at makikita lang siya doon sa gatas na naproseso na. So, always feedback this to the supplier of the milk, to the farm, to the farmers. Now, another test na ginagawa ay yung clot on boiling test. Ito naman simple lang. So, kuha lang ng sample ng milk, ilagay sa test tube, and then pakuluan, ilagay lang to sa kumukulong tubig. After mga 5 minutes, look at this. This is COV positive. Ibig sabihin, nagkaroon ng pag-coagulate ng milk. And pag ganito po ang resulta sa test, we outright reject the milk. Now, ano ba ang dahilan ng COV positive? This test will detect milk which has been kept for too long without cooling. Walang pagpapalamig. At kung insufficient ang pagpapalamig, na-develop na yung kanyang acidity due to microbial growth. Marami ng mikrobyo ang nabuhay at dumami kung walang pagpapalamig na nangyayari sa gatas. Pwede rin naman na kung ang gatas ay may halong colostrum na mataas ang protina, pwede rin na maging COP positive or nag-clot on boiling. And this is not suitable for processing, kaya outright we reject the milk. Another test na ginagawa ay yung alcohol precipitation test. Now, this is a test for protein instability in milk. Now, usually, sa pagtetest po nito, pinaghahalo lang yung magsindami ng gatas at ng alcohol, ethyl alcohol. Kung 2 ml yung milk, 2 ml din yung alcohol. Imimix lang po ito at pag nagkaroon ng pagkulta sa gatas, no, ibig sabihin nito ay APT positive, alcohol precipitation test positive. Now, ano yung causes nito? Nakadevelop na ng high acidity ang milk due to delayed cooling or insufficient cooling or inadequate cooling. Dahil dumami na yung bilang ng mikrobyo na nandun sa gatas. Pwede rin na maging APT positive kung ang gatas ay galing sa mastitis infected animal. Pwede rin na maging APT positive kung ang gatas ay colostrum milk or merong mineral imbalance, no? Mataas yung ibang level ng mga phosphorus and calcium. Now, another test na ginagawa ay ang Lactometer Test. Now, ito po ay isang test for adulteration in milk. Now, usually, ang specific gravity ng gatas ng Kalabaw are 1.030 to 1.0. Pag ang gatas ay may halong tubig, usually ang kanyang lactometer reading or specific gravity ay mas mababa sa 1.030. Pag ang reading naman ay mas mataas sa 1.036, pwede rin na ang gatas ay nabawasan ng taba or skimming. Kaya na nga ba pag ang gatas ng Kalabaw ay low-fat or non-fat milk, usually ang specific gravity niya ay mas mataas sa 1.036. So this is a simple test for adulteration and milk because pwedeng mayroong mga ibang farmers na sa kagustuhan na dumami yung dami ng gatas nila ay maghahalo ng tubig para mas malaki yung kanilang kikitain, but then we can test adulteration through lactometer test. Now, gusto ko lang ipakita itong ginawa namin na pag-test sa bilang ng coliform sa gatas. Ito po ay pag-analyze namin ng gatas sa laboratory. Ito pong dalawang petri dishes na to ay bilang ng mikrobyo sa gatas na kinuha namin immediately after milking. So, nagpunta kami sa farm for 30 a.m. Kumuha kami ng gatas, sample ng milk, and then in-incubate namin sa laboratory. At ito po yung nakuha namin na bilang ng mikrobyo. Yung isa 3, yung isa lang, on the average parang 2 lang. But this immediately after milking. The same sample of milk, dinala po namin sa processing plant. By 8 o'clock, ang ginawa namin, yung sample ng milk, pinarami ulit namin sa mikrobyo, binigyan namin ng pagkain, at eto na po ang bilang ng mikrobyo, just 3.5 hours after milking. Yung dati na 2 hours, 2 lang ang bilang ng mikrobyo per ml. Ito na po ang bilang. So, ibig lang sabihin itong picture na to, pag walang pagpapalamig sa gatas, ang bilang ng mikrobyo ang bilis dumami. Ayan na po. So how much more kung 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock? Ganun po kabilis dumami ang gatas. At pag sinabi natin na cooling of milk, hindi yun yung inilagay mo pa lang sa freezer. Dapat yung cooling na sinasabi natin sa gatas, ito yung malamig na agad ang gatas. Dahil ito, wala pa tong palamig eh. No? Dami na ng bilang ng mikrobyo. At worst, baka masira agad yung gatas sa ganitong dami ng bilang. Ito kasi ay no cooling during the transport. At the processing plant, good quality raw milk is required to produce high quality dairy product. And the processing plant can always reject the milk if it fails to meet the requirements for the color, for the odor, for the sediments, and if the milk tests positive for COB, clot on boiling, and more specifically, antibiotic test. We do not want naman na yung gatas na ipoproseso natin ay may presence ng antibiotic residues because kung ang gagawing produkto sa processing plant ay yung mga yogurt na kung saan ay gusto nating padamihin ang mga good bacteria, ito po ay hindi dadami kung mayroong presence ng antibiotic sa gatas. Kaya always reject milk kung mayroong presence ng antibiotic. Dairy products can never be made from poor quality milk. Now usually pag maganda ang kalidad ng raw milk, maganda rin po ang kalidad ng ating dairy products and pwede na mahaba ang kanyang shelf life because isa sa mga requirements sa processing ay yung good quality raw milk. Pero pag poor quality milk, yung shelf life na dapat po sa mga produkto ay po pwedeng mabawasan. So kung like for our pasteurized milk na ang shelf life ay 7 days using good quality milk, pag poor quality milk ang nagamit, pwedeng ang shelf life nito ay maging 3 or 5 days na lang. So these are the other dairy products, no yogurt, cheese, ice cream, flavored milk. So milk processors, ito yung importante na mag-produce. So with basic knowledge and skills on milk processing, they must be of good health and personal hygiene. So proper attire, they must have clean clothes using apron or lab gowns. They must have these head caps or hair nets. They have this face mask and using gloves if necessary. And they should be washing their hands every time they feel their hands are contaminated. And dapat no jewelry during processing, no necklace, no rings, no earrings, and no eating inside the plant. If you feel hungry, always go outside the plant and eat na lang outside to designated area. So these are just some photos of hygienic milk processing. So immediate cooling of milk is also one of the requirements. So this one is cooling of milk after sealing of pasteurized milk, and these are with proper attire. No? So cleaning and disinfection of processing equipment and utensils. So again, we need potable water, cleaning equipment before and after use, manual scrubbing or clean in place depending on the equipment. If using big equipment, you may be using the clean in place. So the clean in place method always follows several steps. So do not do shortcuts, no, for the cleaning in place. Now, cleaning is just removing of dirt and other milk residues. There must always be disinfection because disinfection is a method of removing microorganisms. So disinfection can be using steam, hot water, or chemical solutions or disinfection. You can use chlorine solutions or quaternary ammonium compounds. So these are good practices at the plant, no? So yung mga hose na gagamitin must not be nandun sa floor lang nakakalat, meron ganito na sabitan. So milk cans after cleaning and after use must be clean and disinfected and dry in a rack, and so with the other processing utensils and equipment. So sanitation of the dairy plant must be hygienically designed, must be kept clean and in good repair. The walls must be washable and the floor must be slow for easy draining. Now, usually in a processing plant, even maliit lang to, we prevent dapat yung cross-contamination. Kaya usually merong pasukan for the raw milk at meron namang another door for labasan ng finished product to prevent cross-contamination that might contaminate the finished product. Because in processing, no, the heat treatment na ginagawa natin, we already kill the bacteria. So pag nagkaroon po ng maraming bacteria after the heat treatment, ito yung tinatawag na post-contamination or nagkaroon ng contamination after the processing, and that is what we want to prevent, no? Kaya prevent cross-contamination. Now, storage of finished products ay also importante, no? Dahil especially these products, no, the pasteurized milk, pasteurized flavored milk, the cheeses, the yogurt, this require refrigerated storage, or this should be kept in low temperature storage. Why? During the heat treatment, we kill the pathogenic bacteria, but there are still some thermogenic bacteria na tinatawag na withstand nila yung heat treatment. So they are still present in this, and during the refrigeration, we control their growth. So hindi na siya dadami during the shelf life of the product. So this product should be kept refrigerated. Now, during the transport of finished product and delivery, they must be packed in insulated boxes filled with enough ice. Now, look at this. Meron po dito mga finished product. Ito ay finished product na i-deliver sa Metro Manila from Nueva Ecija. So, look at this, no? Talagang marami po na ice ang ilalagay para during the transport, parang nasa-simulate natin yung lamig dun sa refrigerator or freezer. So, these are the transport of milk using ice packs. So, ito rin yung transport vehicle. So, kahit hindi refrigerated yung transport vehicle, basta po nakalagay sa insulated boxes, packed with enough ice, our products can still be good at makakarating sa kanyang destination even 3-6 hours basta packed with enough ice. Marketing and distribution. Now, during the distribution of milk, always follow the appropriate and recommended storage conditions na nandun sa label ng mga milk products. So usually, pasteurized milk will keep in good condition for a week at refrigerated temperature. So pagka inalis mo sa refrigeration, yung nakalagay na expiration date doon may not be attained kung nandun sa labas ng refrigerator or cold storage. However, if you buy yung mga sterilized milk, now these are products which may be stored at ambient temperature for a minimum of 3 months. Sometimes 6 or 12 months, no? Depende dun sa product. But always look into the recommended storage conditions to keep the products in good quality, no, during the marketing and distribution. Now, the last stage of the milk chain are the consumers. So, ito talaga yung kung saan sila yung iinom at bibili ng ating produkto. Now, the consumers have the right to safe and wholesome milk and milk products, and they should follow manufacturers' instructions on milk storage, meaning pag bumili ang consumers sa store at nakalagay doon na keep refrigerated, so immediately after na dumating po sa kanilang bahay, ilagay agad sa refrigerator kung nakalagay doon na keep refrigerated. Remember, milk is highly perishable and should always be kept cold in storage. Now, be aware of the expiration date. Na usually sa pag-aaral, mayroong tinatawag na expiration date dahil pag nasa expiration date na, yung quality ng product ay hindi na maganda at hindi na dapat iinumin or iti-take. Remember, all consumers would love to buy high-quality milk products. In summary, I would like to mention that milk quality and safety begins at the farm, being at the first stage of the milk chain. Good hygiene practices in milk production and handling is the key to milk quality and safety. Cooling of milk will slow down the growth of bacteria and prolong the milk's shelf life. However, milk which has already many bacteria in it will not keep for long even when cold. So we always emphasize that cooling of milk should be immediate, should not be delayed, and should be adequate. So in summary also, following the hygienic milk handling practices will produce good quality milk, which will mean better income for the farmers. Thank you very much.